Okay, we are recording. So welcome everyone to the Paly Python Kickoff event. First, let us start off with what is Paly Python. So Paly Python, we are a student-run organization that is dedicated to helping students of all skill levels learn to code. So here's some notable accomplishments. We've run a club at Palo Alto High School for 2 years. I started it when I was a freshman and now I'm a rising junior, so freshman and sophomore year. Then last summer, we held online summer camps on our Discord server. So actually, speaking of Discord server, why don't you all join our Discord server? We're actually gonna talk about this more later, but can someone put the link in the chat? And then you all can join it, and then we're actually gonna be giving you updates about the hackathon from there. So I would strongly encourage everyone to sign up there. But yeah, basically we held these summer camps in 2020. And they went really well. We did one on Python, one on JavaScript. If you want to read more about that, I actually wrote a blog article on our website, so you can take a look at that. Our website, Paly Python, that is a big accomplishment. We've been working on it for a long time, and it's come a long way. And there's been a lot of good work on it from the whole team. Jerry's contributed a lot. Atticus has contributed a lot. So yeah, so I would say feel free, like later, check out our website, some of the other things here. Yeah, I think also Jerry wrote a blog article. Let me just confirm. Yeah, our website, we upgraded to Next.js pretty recently, so you can read about that. And then finally, I'd say actually this hackathon will be our biggest accomplishment because we put a lot of work in it. For the last 2 months, we've just been working. We've been advertising. That's kind of funny, Griffey. I really liked Python when I started, but it's actually kind of bad. Like JavaScript is a lot better, but that's okay. Paly Python, that sounds good. But coming back to this hackathon, we put a lot of work into it. So, we had to build out the stuff on our website. We had to write advertisements and promotions, and the advertising team had to go market it. And I'm sure that you'll hear from me here. It's very difficult. We failed a lot, but but I'd say ultimately we succeeded. If you look at, what we're doing now, how many teams we got to sign up. So yeah. And then the last thing I want to touch on before we get to the team is our overarching goals. So these goals that I wrote up, they govern everything we do at Paly Python. So I try to make sure that, everything we do is achieving one of these goals. So the first one is create an exceptional learning platform for programming. So we're gonna make a really good platform which rivals Khan Academy, but is also free, because if you think about it, there really aren't that many like that. So we want to make it really easy to learn, and also make something that's very comprehensive. Then the second one is give underserved communities programming opportunities. So this one is pretty important. So most of us here live in Palo Alto. So we have access to a lot of programming resources, but many others in the country and in the world don't have these opportunities. So we want to raise money and use things that we create, like our platform, to help these underserved communities, give them programming opportunities. So like the first community that we're going to target is East Palo Alto, because it's right here. So we want to take the money that we raise and we want to figure out how we can help students there learn programming. So wait, Griffey, are you asking to volunteer for Paly Python? I will get into that later, but actually we're gonna get into the team. But we have currently like seven people on the team, and we are still looking for a lot more people. So I'd say anyone here, if you like what we're doing, send us an email asking to be on the team. I'll actually get into this later. I was planning to talk about this in the closing ceremony. But if you're very eager, then you can send us an email now, and we'd love to have you on the team. Hey, what is this? That's nice. I just got a message from Zoom. They said, running out of time, we've removed the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting. That's nice, just in case it goes over. So, and then the final one is empowering students through programming. So what does this look like? It can have many forms, but basically one is, holding our club meetings, allowing people to interact with other programmers, like get help about programming, learn how to program. Another are these events like the hackathon or summer camp. So that is the third one. So next, meet the Paly Python team. So my name is Rohan Fanse. I'm the founder and president of Paly Python. I'm a rising junior at Paly who loves programming. I founded Paly Python because I wanted a place for people to learn and connect with other coders. And then I also like to fence and play guitar. So yeah, okay, so next we'll have the rest of the team introduce themselves.
Okay. So I'm Jerry, and I'm the vice president of Paly Python. And I'm also a rising junior, and so I've been programming for a long time, actually, ever since I was like 9 or something like that. And I manage the Paly Python website and servers, and I also like to do speed cubing in my free time, which is cool.
Hi, I'm Atticus. I'm the content team lead at Paly Python. I'm interested in programming, especially in Haskell and PHP. Those are my two favorite languages. And yeah, I'm excited to have this hackathon.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mahir. I'm the marketing team lead. I'm a rising sophomore at Palo Alto High School, and I really enjoy playing sports, mainly basketball and tennis. And I also read a lot of books on things I'm interested in. And I hope you guys have fun with this hackathon.
Hi, I'm Yuno. I help with marketing and fundraising in Paly Python. Some of my hobbies include reading books, playing piano, and drawing. And good luck to you all for this hackathon.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm on the marketing team, and I'm also a rising junior at Paly, and I enjoy programming, ultimate frisbee, and art.
Nice. And then this is Ming. He actually has some AP tests that he's doing right now, so he could not make it, but he is a rising junior and he is on the team. So, and welcome, I think Akshay just joined, so thanks for joining. We're in the middle of our kickoff event. You didn't miss much, but we actually are recording everything. So afterwards, you can watch the recording and you can see these slides too. Once again, yeah, I'm gonna put the link to the slides here. So great. So now we're gonna get into the hackathon info and rules. So the first thing is the prompt. This is the prompt here that you'll be working on, that you'll be addressing this next week. So it's create a simulation or game that addresses climate change, its impact on the world, and or proposes solutions for the problem. So interpret that however you'd like, but create something that addresses that prompt. Okay, impact. So we chose climate change as the topic because it's a relevant and an important issue. We could have just chosen something random, but we actually wanted to choose something meaningful. So this hackathon, because we chose, Griffey, we're gonna get into that. Because we chose a meaningful, issue, like we're spreading awareness for it, it allows you to also make an impact on climate change. You may be thinking if I just create a programming project, how is that gonna solve climate change? So your project, you're right, your project won't solve climate change, but it'll be a step in the right direction. We're thinking about it. You could actually build something which you can build out even more after this hackathon and which could actually make an impact. So yeah, but this is why we wanted to do climate change. And next we're gonna go to Jerry, who's gonna explain the rules, the prizes, the timeline, and submission of projects.
Okay, so this hackathon, the rules are pretty simple. There's not very many rules because this is really just an opportunity for you to use your creativity to create some programming project that will address the prompt. So of course the teams are 1 to 4 members. You guys already signed up and you're already all in teams. So you're going to be working with your team to create a project for this next week. The project has to be a simulation or a game about the prompt of climate change, of course. And it's going to be due in 1 week, which is June 16th. So that's 7 days from now, and it's going to be due at midnight of Pacific time. And you'll be able to submit your project to a Google form that's linked there in the blue. Yeah, and you have access to these slides, so you'll be able to find the form. Your project will be judged by all of the members of the Paly Python team based on a bunch of criteria. So basically, it'll be judged on how well it addresses the prompt, uniqueness, or I guess Rohan just deleted that.
That was kind of redundant, like creativity.
Yeah, creativity,
that's fine.
yeah. Creativity and uniqueness, I guess about the same thing. So yeah, functionality, so how well it works, that is. Code quality, because this is a programming hackathon. So we'll be taking a look at your code, of course. Your impact, so how might it pertain to the issue and how it might propose a solution, and also the design. So that's like the graphic design aspect of the project. Of course, for this hackathon, you could use any language you want. It doesn't have to be Python. So you could use any language that you and your team are familiar with. Projects should be your own work. That means you can't just plagiarize an entire project, but taking ideas from existing projects is okay. And then Griffey, as Griffey mentioned in the chat, copying from Stack Overflow. Well, I guess since Stack Overflow has answers to specific programming questions that aren't necessarily entire projects. So I would say copying from Stack Overflow or other websites is allowed because it's just like solutions to problems. And of course, as programmers, we all know how valuable Stack Overflow could be. So we could not possibly deny you this amazing resource. But yeah, just don't plagiarize somebody else's project. I mean, this is really just a loose rule. Like, as long as you don't plagiarize an entire project or something, you'll be fine. But just create your own project. So the hackathon timeline. You right now are in this hackathon kickoff event, which is on June 9th, and it'll end on June 16th. So that's 1 week from now when the projects are due. And then we'll take 3 days to judge the projects, and then on June 19th, we'll have a closing ceremony, so another meeting, and we'll also announce the winners and publish them on our website. The hackathon does have some prizes, of course, and we're going to be giving $50 to first place, $30 to second, and $20 to third in the form of an Amazon gift card to your entire team, and 1 Raspberry Pi. I think it's a Raspberry Pi 4, and so yeah, Raspberry Pi basically is like a small computer, like a small that you could use to host projects or just run code on. And we're going to be giving $100 of special prizes for 4 additional teams in addition to the top 3. And then everybody will have a certificate, and if you gave us permission to, we'll put everybody's submission on our website, even if you didn't win. Okay. So now a bit more about the special prizes that will go to the 4 other teams. So they'll be worth $25 each. And we are going to have these 4 categories, which are creativity, functionality, impact, and design. So these, your projects will be judged on these categories, and the best from each category that is not a top 3 winner will also receive a $25 prize. So even if you didn't win, you could still win one of these prizes. So that's just more opportunities for everybody to win. Okay, so Griffey, okay, move on. And then Griffey asked this question about, does your code have to be open source? Well, I guess it doesn't have to be, because we're the only people that will look at your code. Like if you choose, like you don't have to release it to everybody, because you're just going to be submitting your code to us. So if you don't want to, it doesn't have to be, but I don't know why you wouldn't make your code open source. That's just like a good thing to do. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could just send us a bunch of files, I guess. So more on submitting your projects. They're due on June 16th on that form, so the link is there again. So you're going to have to submit two things, which is the first is your code and also a working demonstration of that code. So the code is just the raw files, and a demonstration is like maybe a game or a website if you choose to make that, but it has to be working. And Replit can be an option to host your demonstration if you don't have other hosting options available. So if you're not familiar with Replit, it's just a platform that it's like an IDE, but you could also use it to host your projects for free. So that is a good option for hosting. And after this event, at the end, I'll be giving a demonstration about how to use Replit if you're interested to host your projects. Okay.
Great. Okay. Also, yeah, actually, no, sorry,
You can send files in, I guess. You can send some files in, but you also have to send a demo, because you don't want to have to do like a lot of compiling or building or whatever just to see the project.
Yeah, you would have to send the code so we can read it, and you send us a live demo so we don't have to, locally run your program. That'll be the easiest for us. And then also, guys, let's be supportive, okay? You can use whatever programming language. You can use Scratch, okay? Scratch is a valid option. So don't beat people up because they're using Scratch. I think that's actually a very good idea. Okay, Jerry, continue.
Okay, I'm just gonna address, the chat is very active today. I'll address some more issues from this chat. Okay, so you can use gaming engines, so you can use Godot. You could use any programming language you want. It doesn't have to be Python. Even though the name of this is Paly Python, it does not have to be Python. So I guess that'll open up a bunch of new doors for some of you. Unity, sure, that's a fine option. But one thing is that if you like absolutely cannot make a working demo of your project, I mean, that's fine, but really you would want a like working demo of your project just to submit to the form. But anyways, so you could find our info on the hackathon page of our website. And Roblox Studio, I mean, as long as you have like a demo, I guess it's fine. But any programming language is fine. Yeah, Lua is fine. So our info is on this hackathon page of our website that you've probably already seen. And then on the next slide, there is another link to our Discord server. So this one doesn't expire. I highly encourage all of you to join our Discord server, because we'll be posting announcements there, and you can also contact us if you need help, because we're all pretty active on Discord. And email is another way to reach us. So you could send us an email, and then we'll check that email pretty frequently. So we'll get back to you pretty quickly. Okay.
Nice. Okay, so next we're going to be looking at giving you ideas and inspiration. So I'm going to hand it off to Atticus.
So I'm just going to run through a few example ideas. I'm going to do these, I guess, sort of quickly, because these are just like example projects to inspire you. They're not like fully fleshed out ideas. So my first idea is to make a forestry manager where the player has to plant trees, and the trees soak up carbon dioxide. Also, the player has to manage the forest by cutting down old trees to protect against fires. Okay, my second project idea is an environmental tycoon. So you can use like tycoon games like maybe Factorio, where there'll be green technologies to inspire people to think about how green technologies work. So there might be solar panels or wind farms. or hydropower to get people thinking about green energy. My third idea is an ocean current simulator. So as the planet warms, the ocean currents will change due to the warming planet. So you can build a simulation of the ocean to visualize how the ocean flows will change with climate change. My fourth idea is a political simulator, which will simulate what it'd be like to be a political leader during climate change. So the player will have to make informed decisions about how to address climate change and the environment while having a minimal impact on the economy. My fifth idea is a hurricane simulator. So as the planet warms, hurricanes will become more frequent and more severe. So you can build so one idea would be to build a simulator of hurricanes and show how much damage a hurricane would do if it were to strike in the future. My fifth idea is an ecosystem manager. So this will show how climate change impacts ecosystems. So there'll be complex interactions between each species and species eating other species, and it will show how climate change will impact each of the ecosystems. My next idea is about droughts. My next idea is about droughts. So, because of climate change, droughts in California are getting much worse. So this game could be about water allocation through pipes or from reservoirs to users. This could get players to realize how scarce water is because California is coming up on an intense water shortage due to climate change. My final idea is like an endangered species Pokemon Go, where players will have to take pictures of endangered species to help scientists track species that whose habitats are being destroyed by climate change to give them a better image of how species are being harmed. And so now I'd like to present my demo. So this is a simple demo I made using Godot, which is a Python game engine. So let me click on the demo URL. And so Godot is a Python game engine. And if anyone wants a tutorial maybe, or to ask me for help, I'd be willing to help people. So this is a simple game. In this game, you're a leaf, and the leaf plants trees with the spacebar, and you can move around and plant trees. And each tree removes 10 tons of CO2 from the atmosphere. And that's about all there is to the game. So it's a pretty simple game, but it shows, I know, it's just a demonstration of what you could do, perhaps.
Nice. Is there anything else you'd like to go over, Atticus?
Oh, yeah, my code is on GitHub, so it's all open source. So if you want to know how I did this, it's all on GitHub for you to check out the source code.
Nice. Okay. And Atticus, I'm very impressed with the way you just blitzed through all of those ideas. But yeah, so now the next thing is sponsors. So we're going to be telling, and we actually some other stuff too, but we will be telling you about our sponsors, starting off first with United Layer. So what is United Layer? United Layer is an information technology company which provides data center and cloud hosting services. So they supported us by giving us $100 to fund the top 3 gift cards, the 50, 30, and 20, and also 2 powerful servers to host our websites. So like one for production, one for development. So that was very helpful. What happened is we had done it on REPL, and REPL is great, but our website was too large for REPL, so it wasn't working. So with United Layer, we had more storage, we had more RAM, so that really helped us out. And then we also corresponded a lot with their help team, like to set up our SSL certificate, to get specific problems, like maybe some ports weren't open. So when we were interacting with them, they were very professional and they were very fast. Like literally, like they would respond very quickly, like within a couple of hours, within a day. So it was really nice. And then finally, if you want to learn more about them, you can go to this link. So next, Yunu is going to tell you about our funding from Paly ASB.
Yeah, so we also received support from the Paly Associated Student Body of $110 to fund the 3 Raspberry Pi computers that we're gonna give out to our winners. And I took some steps to get us successfully funded. Like I first researched what price we need and the cost. Second, I convinced ASP that we need it and it'll benefit the community by promoting our coders and raising awareness for climate change. And so I had to go fill out and submit some required forms, make slides and present to the ASP. We had some challenges, like we had to figure out how it's gonna work over the summer, but now it's done and now we're just waiting to get reimbursed after this event. And I thank the Paly ASB for supporting various Paly clubs in our mission to improve our community.
Nice. So then next, let's take a look at the GoFundMe. I'll just quickly pop on it here. So nice, yeah. So the GoFundMe, we raised $100. So the first $100 is going towards the hackathon. So that funded those 4 special prizes for like anyone who doesn't get in the top 3. And then the rest goes towards achieving our second goal, which is providing underserved communities with programming opportunities. So if you all like what we're doing here at Paly Python, you want to fund that mission, then feel free to donate to us. I just realized these are all my family members who've donated. So thank you, family members. You really helped out Paly Python. But yeah, let us proceed. So next, Mahir is going to tell you about the marketing effort.
Yeah, so as Rohan mentioned earlier, marketing was quite an effort. So we used a variety of strategies. We emailed different schools, clubs, organizations. We tried to advertise in parent groups, and we tried to advertise to different kids with person-to-person advertising. We emailed about 15 high schools in the surrounding area, including private schools and public schools, and about half of them responded to us. Then we emailed about 10 middle schools in the surrounding area, about half responded again, and then we emailed all 13 elementary schools in Palo Alto. The next thing we did was we emailed a bunch of clubs in Paly that were aligned with STEM, and sadly only one of them responded, which was Girls Code, and that was okay. So then we moved on to organizations. So we emailed a few nonprofit organizations, including Street Code Academy, who very kindly responded to us, and the Open Code Foundation. However, I think most of the people that have actually joined this hackathon came from the parents advertising and the person-to-person student advertising. So that was very good. And this marketing, I don't know why it's relevant. Yeah.
This is a very relevant slide because we wanted to tell you about how we, like the process in holding this hackathon. We had to market it. You can't just build something and not spread the word. You're not going to get anyone to sign up. We had to market it. We wanted to give you guys an idea about that. It doesn't specifically pertain to the hackathon. You don't need to know this information to do well in the hackathon, but I thought it would be interesting for you all to hear. Okay, thank you, Mahir. Do you want to add anything else, or is that good?
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. Hopefully, as we hold more and more hackathons in the future, because we did this one, hopefully the advertising will become much easier and will be much more successful and expensive.
Okay, nice. So, closing words. Let's think. So we've covered everything. I would say to close this that overall, I'm really proud of what we've done. Like it was a slog and it was a challenge to get all the way here. What is this? Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. Is someone drawing on the screen? Maybe. Okay. So overall, it was a challenge to do this, but we were able to pull it off, and I'm really proud of where we're at. And I think we did a lot of work to get really nice prizes for all of you. And then we also, like, I think this is like a really good opportunity for you all to, strengthen your programming skills. And I think, and I'm very glad that you guys all took it. But yeah, so best of luck to all of the teams. And we look forward to seeing your projects. So now you can give us any questions. You can put them in the chat. Now I'll just look at them and we'll answer them. If you want, you can also raise your hand and then we'll call on you and then you can ask us your question. Yeah, thank you, Rian. The link, we'll do that now. Also, Alap, we're going to, sorry, I sent that to Hadi. We're gonna email these slides afterwards so you all will be able to see them. So yeah, any questions, we can stay around for a bit. This is the last thing of the hackathon. So after questions, you guys are free to leave, except for all of you who would like to learn how to use REPL. So basically we'll tell you how to host your websites on REPL. And then if anyone needs this, we'll show you how to import a GitHub repository on REPL and then host that GitHub repository. Feel free to stay. So yeah, so once again, if you want to learn how to use REPL, because we would want everyone to submit their live demo as a REPL link or GitHub pages or whatever you want to use there. If you want to learn how to use REPL, then stay behind. Else, anyone, you can leave after we finish the questions. So yeah, any questions, just ask them right now. So let's see, Akshay's asking, is Play Python a nonprofit? So we are, yes, like as Jerry said, we're in the process. It's a very long form. I looked into it, so we will do it soon, but we have not registered as a nonprofit as of now. So, okay, Akshay, any other investors, sponsors? So no, we do not. We currently have United Layer. We have Palo Alto High School. And then hopefully we have, some of you or your parents to invest here. I'd like to see some names here that are not immediate family members. So hopefully you guys can all help out with that. Okay, so I think you're referring to our second goal. So here's the thing. So that is true. There are a lot of underprivileged communities. And if you're in an underprivileged community, then you have low income. You don't have as good access to technology because technology is pretty expensive. It's hard to get that. And then it's, you have no chance of exploring programming or doing stuff like that. So we're gonna figure out how we can take the money we raise and how to spend it so that we can help these underprivileged communities. But I think we can all agree that there is definitely, the need is higher than a 100%, as Jerry said. It's a cool feature. Okay, so let us see this. Sorry, okay, it's a little hard for me to read. Can you instead type it all at once? And then we'll answer your question then. So yeah, you guys, like this is your chance to ask questions. If you joined our Discord server, then you can also ask questions there. But I would recommend anything you have, you can say it now. Okay, you guys can help Griffey out. How do I do this? Okay, so let's see this. So would a long-term solution be to help support internet communities? So are you saying like we need to help communities get access to technology and internet? Is that like what the question is? Okay, yeah, just tell me what it is. Why do you recommend in-person classes? I'm not understanding this question. So yeah, I can try to understand it, or what would be helpful, just like kind of rephrase the question and send it back. Let us see. Guys, warning, I'm gonna clear the screen. I'm gonna clear all the drawings. Sorry, Griffey. So you know what? If no one has any other questions, then you guys are free to go. Akshay, if you want, you can stay and we'll answer your questions. And then anyone who's staying for the Replit workshop, then stay behind also. But okay, thank you all for attending and good luck.